Let me tell you about a boy named Toby. Toby has a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. Individuals with autism spectrum disorder have significant difficulties with communication. For Toby in particular, he struggles with understanding spoken messages, including stories. Imagine a world where you found it difficult to understand the stories that your friend was telling you about their weekend, or the concepts being taught to you by your statistics lecturer. Okay, statistics can be quite complicated, but seriously, think back to when your parents would tell you a bedtime story at night time before you fall asleep. Now imagine finding those difficult to understand. For Toby, having difficulty understanding spoken messages can be quite a challenge, particularly at school. But what if there was a way that we could capture Toby's attention and direct it to the most important aspects of a spoken message to help him understand? When we observe gestures, gestures act as a highlighter to capture our attention. Through capturing our attention and directing it to the most important parts of a spoken message, gesture might be able to help us comprehend, and that is what I've found so far. Throughout my PhD, I've conducted numerous experiments, including a meta-analysis, investigating whether gesture can benefit our understanding of both spoken messages and stories. The results of every single one of my studies to date has concluded the same thing. When we watch people produce gestures with their hands, their gestures help us to better understand. Now, these results made me wonder whether observing gestures could also benefit comprehension in individuals who have difficulty with communication, including those on the autism spectrum, just like Toby. So I investigated this. I recruited individuals with a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder, and I showed them 2 videos. In the first video, a narrator told a story while producing gestures with their hands. In the second video, they told a story but didn't produce any gestures at all. Our results showed that when the children with autism observed gestures, they comprehended stories significantly better than when they didn't observe any gestures at all. So what do these results mean for children like Toby? Well, there's a lot of research to still be done, but our results so far are promising. It appears that the gestures we produce with our hands can benefit children with autism and help them to better understand. Thank you.